Okay. Now that that's created, so we have our white offset created. So that white part, that's what I want the machine to cut, just around the design, because the pink is going to get printed, the black is going to get printed, so that's going to match the shirt. Now the white around the design is going to be on the shirt. And the reason I said that is because when you go and cut, you don't want this, right? See how there's no white here, but there's a little bit here. Even if you use scissors, it's just not going to look right. So this is what you want. This is the final product. And if you notice, I cut here, I cut here, I cut here. It's just not going to look perfect. And look at this. Right here is just a mess, right? So we got rid of that. We just said, why not just color it to match the shirt? There's a little glare, so you may think it does not look good, but big difference, man. Huge difference when you see it in front of you. As you could tell here. I did the same thing with the other crown. I just added the white border or offset. Because we have that white offset, it matches the font, so it just pops on the shirt. If the shirt is white, you won't even see this if the shirt is white, which is even better. Okay, so if the shirt is white, it's even better. So ultimately, that's what that looks like. Okay, let's go back. So now what we want to do, I'm going to take this. I'm going to show you guys how to create, print, and cut. So if you go to New Project Wizard, it says right here, Print and Cut. Select that, Start, and it's already got everything set up for you, right? This is your virtual cutting board. So the paper that I'm using is 11 by, the paper that I'm using is 8.5 by 11. Okay, so we want to get that to 11, and what am I doing? 11 to 8.5. Okay, that's the size of my paper. Now you see that it's got this red border. Everything you're cutting needs to be inside this area. I know it's not a lot, but that's where it needs to be. If it's outside of it, it's just not going to cut that part of it. So you got to be careful and pay attention. I typically come here to where it says thickness. So all the way to the right, when you go to registration marks, I go to thickness. I try to make it thick. You can see the difference. So that way, when my cameo is trying to read where the markers are, it's easier for it to see because it's a laser that kind of scans it. The bigger, the better. The darker, the better. Copy. I'm going to paste it here. Okay. So now, like I said, you have to keep this design within this box. Now you can say, well, it's not, it's the size is only 5 by 6. It's not big enough. Remember, you can rotate, right? And you're probably not going to make a crown this big. Okay, especially if you got two. So you can do stuff like that. You can play with it, rotate. Okay, so this one was going to keep it simple, right? We just want to show you what the next step here. Okay, so we're ready for the next step. Now, when I'm getting ready to send this design to the printer, once you print your design, I'm going to show you what that looks like. So the design is going to look like this. Let me change my camera. So that's the design. As you can see, the registration marks over here, right? I got both of them inside that box. My cameo is going to read the registration marks. And once it knows with the registration mark, it knows where to cut. The machine doesn't care what image is on there. It just cares about the outline. I'm sorry I keep looking over there because normally that's where I have my chat because I broadcast, so I apologize. So it doesn't matter what's on this paper. It just, what matters is the outline because that's all it wants to know. So let's change and go back. So now that I'm ready to basically send it to my printer, once it prints, it comes out this way. Now you want to put it on your Cameo machine to cut. Okay, so what is the Cameo gonna cut? It's gonna cut the red stuff, right? The red outlines. But it looks like we have two. Now, if you tell it to cut both, you're gonna this area is gonna just come right off. So when you go and get your design, that white border that we did is gonna be gone. So what I do is ungroup. So if I move, you see that this right here, that's so hard to see. This is what I want the machine to cut, not this. Okay, so once we put that on top and we go back to our cutting board, all I want is the white background. I know it's hard to see the white background because it's on white. So if I change it, let's say, I don't know, let's say we change it to blue just so you can see, right? That's our white background, basically. I think I'm confusing you guys with. Okay, so basically, I know it's hard to see because it's white, but our white background is this guy. That's all we want the Cameo to cut. So let's line it up. Okay, that's what we want. But as you can see, when I move down, it wants to cut this too. Right? So what we do is we just click on it and click no cut. That goes away. So the design stays there. So now the only thing that's going to get cut is the outline. Does that make sense? So make sure you click your design. Once you click that, click no cut. Because I can tell it to cut if I do. See how everything gets highlighted? But once I click on it, I say, no, I don't want that to be cut. The back, I can say no cut and it disappears. But if I say I want that to be cut, boom. So make sure that these two are not grouped. Okay? If they're grouped, then it's going to cut everything. So if I group it, I click no cut. That's what's going to happen. It's going to cut everything, and then that's a mess. Okay, so I'm just going to not group that. And I know it's there, so it's kind of weird. But once you guys play with it, you'll understand. So once you send it to your cutter, it's going to cut just around the design. And to be honest with you, this is the result. The result is that, you're not going to get that rough edge. It's going to look smooth. Listen, the picture does not do justice. You have to see it in front of you, how it pops. And it looks amazing. I will post the final photo just to kind of give you an idea. But you can see how this is kind of like, it's off here. Here's okay. But down here, it's kind of off. You can see the white. And all the cutting inside. The Cameo does a great job when it comes to cutting little things, but sometimes it's not the best. So when I add this white background, it's perfect. So on a white shirt, you can't see it because it blends in. So all you'll see is a nice cut. of the design. I always use print and cut. Stickers the same way. I use it a lot. I don't understand why a lot of people don't use it. I'm assuming it's because they just haven't tried it and don't know what's there. But print and cut is the best. Whether you're using heat transfer paper, this is the best way to do it. Don't ever use scissor. You're never gonna, and if you do cut on the line with scissors, something's gonna be off somewhere. And there's a lot of mistakes. You can accidentally cut a little piece of the design, then you're like, oh my God, right? What if you gotta do like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 shirts? That's gonna be a lot to cut. Versus if I go here, you know, and let's say it's like kid's shirt, you know, I can duplicate, you know, on one page, depending on the size, you know, you can do that, send it to your cutter, and it's just going to cut all the designs perfectly, and you're good to go. I will do another video on how to print stickers. Let me show you that. So like Fortnite stickers for parties. I know it's hard to see. Let me switch screen. So these are, it's hard to see because it's glossy finish. So these are Fortnite stickers. You can see these are printed through my printer, but they cut through the Cameo, and it cuts around the design that I want. And I'll show you how to make the border, so that way when the kids get the sticker, it's easy for them to, this is all done with the Cameo print and cut. So actually, let me just show you. So this is it. That's the design. Got my registration marks. And I tell the printer, just cut around the design. Boom, 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 boom. And that's it. So that could be a next video. Hopefully, it's my first video. So, I mean, if it's confusing, I can probably do it again. Simplify things, so that way you understand it more. I know it was like a rush, is because in my head I know it. It's hard to show someone else, but maybe I'll do another video if there's a lot of confusion, and we'll go from there. But yeah, it's your boy George from JP Custom Ink. Thanks for watching, and I'm out. Keep printing, boys and girls.